Thanks for joining us for Weekend Winners. We go harness racing at Albion Park this Saturday night. A 10-event program. Our first race gets underway at 5:44. And all in all, it looks a fairly even program. In this episode of Weekend Winners, I plan on speaking with Nathan Dawson, the leading Albion Park driver, along with Brendan Barnes. And both of these chaps have really good drives this weekend. So it'll be interesting to get their thoughts and insight for Saturday night's program. Leading driver Nathan Dawson is about to jump into the hot seat to go through his book of drives on Saturday night. Early scratching race one, always in command. So we move across to race 3, Nathan. LL Cool J, as I say, hello. This is a great drive because he's the stable star.
Yeah, he is. He's going well. He's only had one run back and he did enough, got the job done. So he's better from that and he should take a bit of beating on Saturday night.
That was his first start since the Summer Carnival, where he was beaten behind Balraj in that feature. He trialled twice in lead up for that first up run. His most recent trial before the first up run was electric. The first up run, on face value, he didn't set the world ablaze, but was that a perfect start in your opinion?
I think so. I mean, he's racing good horses and they got it pretty easy on the slow tracks, so it's pretty good to get over the top of them. I was a bit worried in the run if we would, but his class showed in the end.
He goes from a mile to 2,100 metres this weekend. That seems just ideal for him at this stage of his preparation.
Yeah, I think he likes a bit of distance. He's quite a tough horse and he can roll good speed, so hopefully that plays into our hand.
The key runner in this race is the Belinda McCarthy trained Watch List. He comes up from down south and he draws perfectly, it seems, on paper in Gate 1. Have you had the opportunity to look at his form lines of late?
Yeah, I had a quick look just before. His form's quite good. I didn't go too far back, but it hasn't been beaten far in its last two at Menangle, so it's probably the one that we don't know much about, but it's going to have to be pretty good on Saturday night.
Yeah, you've clearly got the others covered, so it's just a matter of what Watch List can produce. So this is going to be quite interesting, but LL Cool J, he's the class horse. Despite that wide draw, he clearly looks the horse to beat. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, it's not hard out there for him. He just can press forward and keep rolling, so hopefully he's too good in the finish.
Okay, well, that's LL Cool J race 3. Race 4, Double or Nothing. He's been a runner-up at his last 3, so he's close. He's just struggling just to go that one step further. Will Saturday night be his night?
Oh, I'd like to think so. He's had his chances at the last couple, just hasn't been good enough, but if we can get a nice trip and a bit of luck on our side, he won't be far away again.
He hasn't forgotten how to win?
No, I think it's still there. I think his runs have probably just been a little bit too tough for him. I think he's a bit better off cover, so hopefully if he can find a bit of cover or get it nice and quiet, he might be too good in the finish. Okay,
well that's interesting because I was going to ask, has he got the speed to cross those two to his inside, but you're looking for cover this weekend?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm looking for cover, but I'm going to have a good look. But we don't want to be doing too much work, I don't think. He's more versatile than like what it reads on paper, but he's had his chance in front and he hasn't been good enough, so it just depends on the pressure, I think.
Okay, what if you led and handed over to a horse like the Fortunate Son who likes to roll along? Could that be a good solution here?
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be out of the picture. I mean, it should work out good for us, and it always goes to the sprint lane, so hopefully it works out well and we get a bit of luck.
Okay, well that's Double or Nothing in race 4. Race number 5, a bit major. He's had the 4 runs back. He's won once in those 4 runs back. He finds a pretty strong race here on Saturday night. How do you assess his chances?
Yeah, I mean on paper it looks quite tough, but he's never out of it. He's the type of horse that he probably wins when you don't expect it, so if he gets his luck, then he won't be too far away.
There looks like there's going to be some early pressure here. A horse like Pacific Drums always generates that pressure when he draws the front row, so you should find a pretty handy spot here.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. That's all we really need is a good spot, and he travels on good speed, so hopefully there's something left in the tank at the finish.
Okay, race 6 on Saturday night, 28 Black. He caused a little bit of a boil-over last week, but there was a lot to like about that performance. Firstly, he's not a one-trick pony. He showed versatility last week, and he'll need that versatility this week with this second row draw. So it's a race that's certainly not out of his reach.
No, he was good last week, and it wasn't really a surprise to me to see him win. He's been going well without a lot of luck, so if we can get a bit of luck and the races have run to suit again, he should be thereabouts.
This is probably a little harder than what he beat last week.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. He's stepping up again, so obviously he has to step up with them, so hopefully he can.
All right, we'll watch with interest there. 28 Black, and in race 7 on Saturday night, Harps, he's a newcomer, prepared by Sean Grimsey. Comes up from New South Wales, boasting very good form. He had a quiet trial on Tuesday afternoon from the stand. How did you, what type of feel did you get from Harps in that trial?
Yeah, no, he gave me a good feel. He only did what we asked, and I think he should be a bit better again on Saturday night. So I think we can press forward with him and try and dictate the race.
Key runner in this race is the pole marker, Obi-Wan, coming up for Amanda Turnbull. Isabel Ross with the drive. He's a horse with good early speed, so, you know, he probably might be the early leader.
Yeah, I think so. It looks like that on paper, but hopefully we have a bit there. So we'll come out hard and then just play it by ear.
Okay, but he felt good in that trial.
Yeah, he did. He's quite sharp and finished off well from a long way back. So hopefully he can repeat that again.
All right, so some handy drives there on Saturday night, spearheaded by LL Cool J. Is that the one we put the big circle around?
Yeah, I think so. He's a nice horse going places, so I think he should be hard to beat.
Excellent stuff. Race 3, number 7, LL Cool J. Nathan, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Good to be on, Chris.
Brendan Barnes is now joining us to go through his book of drives for Saturday night. Brendan, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Good book of drive for you on Saturday night as well.
Yeah, nice busy night.
Yeah, several key chances there. Mr. Freeze, race number 1. Speaking of key chances, had his first local run last week, had barrier 1. You ended up in the trail, found the line nicely in good time.
Yeah, sort of really happy with the way he went last week. I think if he sort of draws anywhere but 8 this week, he's probably pretty good chance at winning that. But, you know, he's sort of, copped that sticky draw and we'll need a little bit of luck again.
So you took plenty of confidence out of that run last week, chasing home against Black Sedans, who's, you know, better than average. He's a good quality 4-year-old, and the time was good, 52.6. So there's plenty of upside with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, we got a lot of time for him, and he didn't really want to go the sprint lane last week, so that probably sort of stopped him from getting a little bit closer, if not sort of running down Black Sedans.
Okay, to be fair though, he probably hasn't seen too many sprint lanes in his career, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Okay, well he looks a good chance, just the draw makes it a little tricky. Rock with Sam, he's got gate 7, same draw as last week, but he just keeps on keeping on. Rock with Sam, I'd venture to say he's probably going as well as ever right now.
Yeah, he is. He's racing in super form, and as you said, the gate stings again, but you sort of can't knock the way he's been going.
Last week, chips were down in the home straight, but he just kept, finding the line, stuck the nose out, and it was only a nose margin, but he got the verdict.
Yeah, he probably didn't really try as hard as he sort of normally does there last start, and if the one sort of down the outside of him didn't come at him, he probably wouldn't have got up. But so that was sort of a bit uncharacteristic for him, but I'm sure he'll be back to his normal by Saturday night. Looking
at what you raced last week and comparing it to what you're facing this Saturday night, is it stronger or weaker?
It's probably a little bit stronger just with the addition of sort of Wrangler in there and Famous Shore drawn well, but we sort of know that if they're going steady, we can do some work, and if they're going hard, we can drive him cold, and he'll be thereabouts either way.
Yeah, Wrangler's the key horse, isn't he? Up from Sydney, you know, it's a big class drop for him, so it'll be interesting to see how he adapts here on the weekend.
Yeah, for sure, and he does have good gate speed too, so it'll sort of be interesting to see what happens there.
Okay, well that's Rock with Sam, your drive in race number 2. Race number 3, the Art of Infusion. He comes up with barrier 4, and you're sort of sandwiched right between Watchlist, who's got the inside, and LL Cool J. They look like they're going to be the top players in the market here. Do you give the Art of Infusion any hope?
He's racing in career best form. Last week he was dead unlucky, and sort of just with the slice of luck, sort of somewhere soon he won't be far off winning one. Obviously, sort of this week looks a pretty tough assessment. We'll probably just have to tuck him away and sort of look for gaps like we have been, but he's definitely knocking on the door and not far away with a bit of luck.
Okay, so you're happy with the way he's going. Is he better suited over the mile?
I don't really think it matters. I think if you want to get forward on him, he's definitely better over a mile. If you drive him sort of with cover and for a bit of luck, it doesn't really matter either way.
Okay, well that's the Art of Infusion in race number 3. Race 4, pickup drive here. Amanda Turnbull, Isabel Ross in town. They've got 2 runners in race 4, and you've snared the drive of Life of Brian, who runs from gate 8, the inside of the second row. Do you know much about him?
No, I watched him go in the claimer at Menangle on Tuesday, where he sort of led him and went at a pretty solid clip, but yeah, not really sure a lot about him. I'll have to have a look sort of between now and then, but obviously if they're sort of sending him up, they think he's good enough.
Okay, well that's Life of Brian in race 4. Race 5, key drive here, your own runner, Pacific Drums. We all know he's got gate speed. Lands gate 5, it's 2,138 metres. Are we going forward?
Yeah, we'll go forward and have a look. I think for whatever reason, he does seem to get out of the gate better from the 2,100 metre start. He doesn't race as good, but he definitely gets out better. So we'll sort of fire some early bullets, and if we can get across, we know he's probably going to run top 3 anyway.
His recent form is super. Last start second, really good run, so you can't knock the way he's going.
Yeah, he's going real well, so we just sort of, if we get the front, we just sort of need him to not pull too hard, and it'll just depend if anything else gets a really good cold sit at him.
Okay, well that's Pacific Drums in race number 5. Race 6, another good drive. If this guy repeats what he did last week, our Wall Street Wolf, he's well up to winning this race. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, definitely. It was a much improved performance last week, and he's drawn nice to get a good little sit, and yeah, for sure he can definitely go close there.
Yeah, he was really good last week. Plenty of confidence to come from that run, so this looks a winnable race. So hopefully he's on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay, that's our Wall Street Wolf in race 6. We go across to race 8. Bad draw here with our Southern Star, but she's getting closer. Last couple of runs have been good, including that run last week when second.
Yeah, she's starting to hit her strap. She's sort of carrying on a bit more like the cranky sort of a mare around the stables, and sort of getting a bit better and better every week. So she's not far off a win with the sort of right draw and right luck.
Okay, well, are you likely to go back at the start because of the draw?
Yeah, there looks like there's a fair few in it to the inside of us that like to get on the speed, so we'll just sort of have to play it by ear. She can do work in her runs, and we would like to get her sort of up outside them one day. Whether that can eventuate this week or not, we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay. Speaking of mares, Gerarda's Delight. She's got that touch of class. She's first up here. She runs into a couple of likely types, including Scarlet Babe amongst others, but she brings quality to this race. What are the expectations first up here?
Yeah, obviously first up she'll probably need the run a little bit. She's had them 2 trials. They were sort of a little bit spaced. We just missed a little bit of work with the wet weather with her, but as you said, she's a quality mare, and she'll run a good race first up.
Looks like this race is going to generate good speed, and that's going to suit with that nice trailing draw. She should end up in a fairly forward spot, really.
Yeah, that's right, and she's a really good sit sprinter, and she's pretty versatile, really. So, but yeah, from there we should get a good sit.
Okay, Scarlet Babe, is she the horse to beat in that race?
You'd think so. You can't sort of knock the way she's been going. Her run last week was really good, sort of trying to make ground wide. She was hanging a fair bit in fast time, so you can't knock the way she's going.
It's a good book of drives for you on Saturday night. To pin you down and ask for one, which one are you going to nominate?
Or if Mr. Freeze wasn't drawn 8, there'd be no hesitation, but I'm probably going to go our Wall Street Wolf just off what we've seen with him last week, and he's drawn to get a good little run. Yeah,
he was terrific last week. So race 6, number 3, our Wall Street Wolf will take the tip with Mr. Freeze each way. Race 1, number 8. Brendan, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
Again, a big thanks to Nathan Dawson and Brendan Barnes giving up their time and info for Saturday night's card of racing. Time now for a best bet. I think we've got to be patient. Wait towards the back end of the program. Race 9, number 7, Scarlet Babe. Some might be dirty on this mare after doing your lollies on her last week where she was unplaced, but when you analyse the run last week, you look at the sectionals and then you look at this race this weekend, I think she looks perfectly placed. The small field is going to suit her. Her sectionals last week were off the charts. She's ready to bounce back with a victory. So race 9, number 7, Scarlet Babe, the best bet on the card. If you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside, the first of 10 at 5:44.